from the same predator that me and that violated me as a man.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed?
Like this thing with Puff Daddy, there's going to be a big exposure. Christians have to get themselves ready. It's going to turn things inside out and upside down from what comes about from.
In a startling change of events, it has been claimed that T.D. Jakes is getting ready to depart the nation as fresh video threatens to destroy his meticulously constructed public persona.
Oh, they're so gifted. They're a great singer. They're a great preacher. Oh, look what they did for the community. But gifts and callings come without repentance.
According to those familiar with the matter, Jakes may be planning to leave the nation as the pressure builds and public sentiment shifts against him out of fear of the catastrophic aftermath.
World-renowned Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy.
T.D. Jakes is the center of attention as the story develops. Will he accept the consequences and stay? Or will he be the next famous person to vanish beneath a cloud of scandal? Let's investigate. Celebrities seem to be under more scrutiny after Diddy's significant declaration on his intention to testify. That isn't very surprising, but there's a catch. Did you ever imagine that a bishop would end up in the middle? Yes, rumors have it that Bishop T.D. Jakes is under pressure now that it was revealed that Diddy would be caught in the act in court.
And other names are going to come out. Sean will talk. That's why Jay-Z is running. That's why Jay-Z is nervous.
With speculation circulating that even the FBI may begin looking into this could be terrible news for everyone connected to Diddy. Moreover, many are stating T.D. Jake apparently attempted to flee the country at the same time as Diddy was detained. To make matters worse, old photos and videos of the bishop having a good time with Diddy have come back to life and are becoming viral on the internet. Diddy having a party with a bishop? Yes, it certainly makes people take notice. Additionally, there are currently rumors that Bishop T.D. Jakes may be facing significant difficulties.
Why would a religious man like himself be at a party which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro?
However, it seems that Bishop T.D. Jake has changed the course of events. He's caught up in some really surprising and, let's face it, rather unsavory news instead of the typical uplifting tales. His name is now being linked to legal controversy. Jakes has been in the news before. He has amassed a sizable fan base and gotten to know some of the greatest personalities in entertainment over the years. That notoriety, it has both positive and negative effects on him. Characters have always questioned his relationships with certain dubious characters, but he has always dismissed them as unimportant.
Like I said, men on men, women on women. It's hard to put in perspective unless.
That impenetrable, immaculate image seems to be finally crumbling. People are really questioning this current round of headlines, which aren't exactly about sharing the gospel. People will eventually start to wonder, what if the rumors are true if you're embroiled in one issue after another? And Bishop T.D. Jakes is now in that very situation. People are beginning to wonder whether he's as spotless as he's always claimed to be. When two people recently came forward with unsettling allegations about their prior interactions with Jakes, things took a turn for the worst. As if that weren't enough, his own son is embroiled in another incident, which stokes the flames and lends credence to the most recent charges.
S.A. From the same predator that me and that violated me as a man.
Jake has had difficult times in the past, but this time couldn't be worse. He was first made famous by his church, but it's not the only thing that keeps him there. Unexpected and candid tales have surfaced throughout the years, such as the controversy surrounding his kid, and there is now a rumor that he is connected to Diddy. Jermaine Jakes, Jake's son, was caught during a homosexual sting operation in Keith's Park some time ago, according to a Dallas police report. According to the article, he reportedly exposed himself to 2 undercover vice police, which led to charges of indecent exposure. Both of the detectives involved were men, which raised even more eyebrows.
Got 2 sons that is about, and I'm talking about T.D. Jakes. He got 2 sons that may be part of the LGBT or that community.
It's no wonder that people are beginning to learn more about the bishop's life now that all of this is public knowledge. How much more will surface is the true question. The arrest affidavit presents a somewhat bizarre image. Jermaine Jakes was discovered in the parking lot by detectives looking into accusations of improper activities at Keys Park. He reportedly approached them with his trousers unfastened and his body exposed after they followed him into a forested area. He apparently lingered there for a few seconds, establishing eye contact with one of the undercover police without even trying to disguise himself, while others were around strolling and running, which made it extra worse. The worst part is still to come. To make matters more unpleasant, according to court documents, Jermaine claimed TD Jakes Ministries as his place of employment. Eventually, he was freed at the site after being held. For background, the Potter's House is a huge church in South Dallas with 30,000 members that was founded by Bishop T.D. Jakes. The irony? AIDS advocates have criticized Jakes for its long-standing opposition to same-sex marriage and for fostering stigmas related to D-use and homosexuality. His own kid is now embroiled in an unavoidable issue. The drama doesn't stop there, however. There are rumors circulating that Bishop T.D. Jakes may soon be in even more difficulty. Manasseh Jordan claims in a video that victims of what he refers to as the power-bottom bishop are preparing to file lawsuits, suggesting that allegations of impropriety are imminent.
One of the things that really happens, and seldom talk about, is that there's something called grooming. And it happens in the Pentecostal church, it happens in many churches, but I'm referring to the black church specifically.
Manasseh Jordan made even more shocking allegations in his most recent video, claiming that two people he met with accused Bishop T.D. Jakes of some really unsettling acts. Manasseh claims that these two victims told him that Jakes had GD and SD them. Manasseh continued by saying that the victims disclosed the precise strategies they had been subjected to by Jake. If accurate, these accusations provide a negative image of a person who has long been regarded as a moral and religious pillar.
Two of the offenders were not only a victim of grooming, as what I described in some of my previous videos.
T.D. Jakes' public criticism of the LGBTQ community is one thing, but it takes a different toll when his own son becomes involved in the exact circumstances he has denounced. Furthermore, there are currently rumors that Jakes has been involved in controversies, which poses some severe concerns. Too hypocritical, even more absurd is the possibility that these problems may turn into a huge legal disaster, but Jake's personal troubles might not even be his biggest burden. Diddy is here. The stakes are greater than ever since Diddy is now being investigated by the FBI. Jake may end himself on the chopping block if Diddy chooses to testify and begin naming people. Diddy isn't exactly in a position to keep quiet, let's face it. He is facing a significant prison sentence and seems willing to go to any lengths to avoid it. Diddy's attorney claims that he is eager to testify at his next trial and may even begin identifying people. Things may quickly get nasty if TD Jake and Diddy have a deeper relationship than those widely shared pictures indicate. It's a ticking time bomb, and everyone is keeping an eye on who will be affected. In a trailer for TMZ's upcoming indictment documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, Mark Agnifilo, the music mogul's lawyer, said, "I don't know that I could keep him off the stand." He seems eager to share his experience, in my opinion. In reference to the startling surveillance film that surfaced in May and saw Combs violently abusing his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in 2016, Agnifilo said, "I believe he will tell every part of his story, including what you see on the video. He has a narrative, and I believe that only he can tell it in the manner that he does in the moment." According to Agnifilo, it's a love tale, a heartache story, a pain story, and a human story. Heartbreak is the term he uses most often to characterize that relationship. Both she and he were devastated. It seems like Diddy may not be the only one dealing with the fallout. Rumor has it that when he testifies in court, he has receipts, which might bring others down with him. Additionally, it seems that Bishop T.D. Jakes is also under attack. The fact that Jakes and Diddy have a history of going out to parties together doesn't help. However, the unusual pair of the rapper and the preacher have been seen together at several of Diddy's notoriously extravagant events. Additionally, Jakes reportedly became embroiled in another incident regarding an unusual claim a few weeks ago, which did nothing to improve his reputation. Let's face it, Diddy's parties are notorious for their chaotic and often scandalous atmosphere. Thus, it has drawn a lot of attention that Jakes has attended many of these events. Jakes argues that his attendance at these gatherings is solely for professional reasons, but his detractors don't believe him.
Him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin. drinking, maybe fornication.
TD Jakes seems to have been involved in some major drama on December 21st, 2023. It all began with a TikTok video that went viral and made some shocking accusations against him. A TikToker revealed some serious tea after Cassie's settlement of her lawsuit with Diddy. Tapes from Diddy's crazy parties and even Kim Porter's covert phone are among the tantalizing materials that Cassie reportedly sent to the FBI. The TikToker claims that there is a video online in which someone reveals that Cassie has videos purportedly showing TD Jakes and other well-known figures participating in Diddy's scandalous parties. Rumor has it that the parties were crazy, with many males hooking up, and that things went out of hand. People are now curious as to what those cassettes really contain. According to the email, I would want to inform you about the true nature of Diddy and Bishop Jake's connection. Let's first acknowledge that Bishop Jake is not divine. He and Diddy were both unquestionably Freemasons. I say this because it seems that he has lost his privileges, protection, and authority, but it is undeniable. The devil still speaks for his soul. That unpleasant fact is one he will never be able to avoid or avoid. In any case, I've been informed that Diddy and Jake's true connection is MK. Kim Porter reportedly said in the email that TD Jakes was suspected of having an affair with a young man just a year after he married his wife. It seems like the whole matter was ignored. In 1999, Jakes was threatened with exposure by a man. That man mysteriously vanished. The pastor even said that the man was bribed to remain silent. The same man then appears dead from a gunshot wound to the head 2 years later. All of this is said to have occurred in Emmanuel Temple of Religion in Smithers, West Virginia. However, no names are given. Jake's hometown has reportedly been accusing him of being secretive for years, and when he attends Diddy's events, there are rumors that an older preacher is grooming him. Rumor has it that Jakes is smoking cigars and slamming back beverages in a special area of the establishment. He's still being monitored even though he's in a secret invite-only area. Oh, and Diddy's parties are never attended by the bishop's wife. Rumor has it that she is well aware of what is happening and has even asked why she is never invited. Now, let's remember that all of these outrageous statements are now spreading on social media without any concrete proof. Despite this, people are still going wild on the internet. One individual said that whatever is done in the dark would eventually come to light, regardless of who you are or claim to be, and if it takes days, weeks, months, or years. Hollywood swaying was another addition. What occurs in the shadows is revealed. When anything rises, it must fall. Then there is one TikTok clairvoyant who seems to have foreseen all of this controversy 2 years ago. She went on a tirade, accusing Jakes of being involved in various shady activities, such as serving Satan as his top boss, swearing vows to the evil side, and becoming a Freemason. She claims that he is manipulating people by utilizing his spiritual abilities. But hold on, it gets more juicy. She even foresaw that Jakes would be directly involved in one of the most significant scandals in history, implying that his preferences would be the main focus. According to the Lord, Bishop TD Jakes will be involved in one of the most significant scandals in the history of the Christian church. People are genuinely doubting whether TD Jakes can still be regarded as a man of God to be trusted in light of all this roiling drama. Gene Deal even added that since his own home isn't in order, he doesn't think Jakes would make a good preacher.
Take him serious. That's not my type of pastor. You know, you got to look at a person's household, and if your household is not in order, you understand, how you going to help somebody else get their house in order?
It's not just him either. Many people, including Linnell, are dissatisfied. Many others, including Linnell, are disillusioned and beginning to doubt Jakes.
Shook my head to say, unfortunately, I don't put nothing past nobody no more.
There you go.
I just can't get shocked no more.
Yep.
I've been so disappointed in the people that I've looked up.
Be diverse from church to church. Every church has a different opinion on the issue, and every gay person is different.
The founder of the Potter's House and well-known preacher, Bishop TD Jakes, is presently facing a difficult legal struggle that has made his life even more difficult. A pastor from Pennsylvania named Dwayne Youngblood has made grave claims against the well-known spiritual leader, who just had a medical crisis during his sermon on November 24th. Jake sexually molested Youngblood while he was between the ages of 18 and 19, according to Youngblood's public accusations. Jakes and his legal team have taken action as a result of the public and media's attention being drawn to these bombshell charges. Bishop Jakes, who is now in stable condition after a medical assessment after his sermon, has sued Youngblood for defamation in reaction to these allegations. Jake's lawyers have vehemently refuted the accusations, claiming that Youngblood's statements are not only false but also driven by greed. Jake's legal team is working hard to preserve the pastor's name and standing in the religious world, arguing that the pastor's activities are motivated by a personal agenda rather than a valid grievance. Both sides are getting ready for what is anticipated to be a very heated confrontation in the courts, as the legal processes have swiftly intensified. Even while the lawsuit specifics are still being worked out, there is no denying the tension in the case. This case is not only a personal problem for Jakes, a man who has based his legacy on inspiration, religion, and community service, but it also has the potential to affect his reputation both within and outside of the Christian community. The public's attention will be riveted to the drama as Bishop Jakes battles to clear his reputation while managing his own medical recovery as the case develops. Dwayne Youngblood, a pastor from Pennsylvania, publicly accused Bishop T.D. Jakes of improper conduct during an edition of the Larry Reed Live podcast on October 27th, which brought the accusations against Jakes to light. The instances happened years ago, according to Youngblood, who remembered the first claimed contact after a Pittsburgh church function. According to Youngblood, Jakes tried to kiss and hug him, which he said was an unwanted and awkward move. Youngblood recounted a second meeting in which Jakes allegedly asked if they might share a bed as part of his account of the alleged occurrences. The Christian community, which considers Bishop Jakes to be one of the most important leaders in contemporary ministry, has been rocked by these unsettling accusations. Given Jakes' long-standing reputation for advocating for religion, honesty, and family values, many people were taken aback by the allegations. Given that it concerns a well-respected religious person, Youngblood's disclosure has sparked significant debate. Youngblood, for his part, has said that he had first been reluctant to share his story but felt compelled to do so after a series of personal reflections and struggles. The podcast episode went viral, and the story quickly gained traction with many people speculating on the veracity of the allegations. Following these allegations, Bishop Jakes and his legal team have vehemently denied any wrongdoing, claiming that Youngblood is lying to damage Jakes' name and get money. The charges have no validity, according to Jakes' agents, who have rejected them as unfounded and part of a larger attempt to damage his reputation. A defamation complaint was brought against Youngblood soon after the allegations were made public, and they have pledged to contest the allegations in court. The public's interest in the lawsuit's specifics and the accusations itself has grown as the case progresses. The wider ramifications for Jakes' legacy and the relationship of trust between religious leaders and their communities are now at the center of the discussion as both parties get ready for what could be a protracted court struggle. Even while Jakes is still committed to protecting his image, many are curious about how the case's continued media coverage would impact Jakes and those who see him as a spiritual leader. The well-known preacher and founder of the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas, Bishop T.D. Jakes, is now involved in a legal dispute as a result of grave allegations that have damaged his image. During a Larry Reed Live podcast broadcast on October 27th, Pennsylvania-based preacher Dwayne Youngblood publicly accused Jakes. According to Youngblood, Jakes sexually attacked him when he was 18 or 19. Youngblood said the assaults happened after a Pittsburgh church function. He further said that at a second visit, Bishop Jakes firmly denied the claims made by Jakes that have generated a great deal of controversy. Jakes responded to the allegations by suing Youngblood in Pennsylvania federal court for defamation. According to the complaint his legal team filed, the accusations are nasty and completely untrue. According to his attorneys, Youngblood wants to harm Jakes' reputation in order to make money. They contend that the pastor has suffered greatly as a result of the accusations, both emotionally and professionally. According to Jakes' legal team, the pastor has been significantly impacted both physically and emotionally by the protracted legal struggle as the case moves forward. In fact, they imply that Jakes' medical emergency on November 24th could have been directly caused by the stress of the charges. Jake unexpectedly became sick while preaching at his Dallas church, the Potter's House. Fortunately, he was subsequently reported to be in stable condition after being sent for medical treatment. His attorneys have stressed that his health issue was caused in part by the stress of the false claims, as well as the physical and mental strain of the defamation action. In addition to clearing Jake's name, the case, which was brought against Youngblood and other parties connected to the allegations, tries to stop what his legal team refers to be a plot to take advantage of his notoriety. The objective, according to them, is to put an end to Bishop Jakes' continuous suffering emotional, bodily and spiritual, caused by these unfounded charges. The legal team further emphasized that the case is intended to safeguard Jake's legacy and demonstrate to the public that the accusations are baseless. They want to do this in order to repair his integrity and reputation in the eyes of his followers, congregation, and the general public. Jake is steadfast in his devotion to his beliefs and the welfare of his flock in spite of the difficulties. While negotiating the choppy seas of this legal dispute, he continues to insist on his innocence. Jake's legal team is working hard to expose the truth and shield his name from these hurtful allegations, and now that his health has improved, he is anticipated to continue leading his church. The 57-year-old pastor of Higher Call World Outreach Ministries, Dwayne Youngblood, and his lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, took a daring step in their legal dispute with Bishop T.D. Jakes on November 15, 2024. Blackburn, who previously defended Lil Rod in his legal battle against media tycoon Diddy, filed a case for $6 million in return for a speedy and quiet resolution. Youngblood said the demand was intended to resolve the matter without further litigation or public conflict. Youngblood reaffirmed his accusations against Jakes in his lawsuit, including charges of sexual assault and harassment that allegedly occurred when he was 18 or 19. Youngblood's demand for money was presented as a quick solution, but it also carried a serious warning. Youngblood would proceed with a full-fledged lawsuit if Jakes did not fulfill this requirement. According to reports, the lawsuit would seek damages for the claimed harassment and assault, taking the matter to a court battle and drawing further attention from the public. Triblev reports that this legal threat coincides with Youngblood's pursuit of redress for the harm he alleges he endured at the hands of Jakes over 3 decades ago. Bishop Jakes and his legal team have forcefully denied the charges, claiming that Youngblood is using the bogus allegations as part of a conspiracy to defraud the pastor of his money. Jake's lawyers contend that Youngblood is using the accusations to further his own financial interests, accusing him of fabricating false information in an attempt to get a large settlement. In response, the team filed a defamation action to fight what they see as a purposeful effort to damage Jake's image, arguing that the charges are false. According to Jake's legal team, the timing of the charges and the monetary demand make it abundantly evident that Youngblood's claims are motivated by exploitation. Jake's court brief, which portrays the whole incident as a planned action intended to capitalize on the pastor's notoriety, reinforced this viewpoint. The allegations will eventually enable Jakes to restore his position in the public spotlight and within his community, and he is committed to clarifying his name and repairing his image as the court struggle progresses. Jakes has already suffered from the strain of the protracted legal drama. In late November, he had a medical emergency while preaching. According to his team, the stress of the legal battle could have contributed. As the case progresses, it is unclear whether Youngblood's demand of $6 million will be fulfilled or if it will turn into a protracted legal dispute that might continue to have serious consequences for both sides. In reaction to Dwayne Youngblood's charges, Bishop T.D. Jakes and his legal team have strongly refuted the accusations and said that they believe they are false. Jakes firmly believes in helping real victims of sexual assault, according to the filing, stressing that these people should be handled with the highest regard, compassion, understanding, and sympathy. He has also stated his opinion that those who really commit such abuse need to be held completely responsible for their deeds. Jake's attorneys, however, have argued that this is not the case with Youngblood's claims, claiming that Youngblood has purposefully attempted to fabricate charges for his own financial and personal gain by manipulating social media and the court system. In addition to refuting the claims of sexual assault, Jake's defamation action provides insight into Youngblood's history. As the court dispute heats up, the petition disclosed that Youngblood is a registered sex offender in the state of Pennsylvania, a revelation that has drawn attention. Following a sudden health crisis during the service at the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas, on Sunday, November 24th, Bishop T.D. Jakes, the adored pastor, spiritual mentor, and internationally renowned leader, left his congregation and millions of internet followers in profound anxiety. Bishop, who was well known for his stirring sermons and unshakable dedication to sharing the gospel, had an unexpected medical emergency that shocked the sanctuary and the world as people watched in real time, uncertain of his status. Worry and concern quickly took over the church, which was crowded with believers anxious to hear Bishop Jakes' counsel. His typical vigor and zeal started to significantly wane halfway through his sermon, which was the moment of worry. Bishop Jake, who was known for his passion and strong presence, seemed to be afflicted by something that was interfering with his ability to give his sermon. His once passionate and conviction-filled speech slowed as he seemed to have trouble breathing. The crowd was immediately alarmed by this abrupt shift in behavior, with many questioning if he had had a heart attack or stroke. There was a noticeable air of panic in the sanctuary as the seriousness of the situation became apparent. While some participants exchanged anxious looks, uncertain of what was going on, others bent their heads in prayer. In contrast to his often vivacious demeanor, Bishop Jakes had sat down for the start of the service. He nonetheless spoke passionately about his affection for the people he serves and his commitment to his vocation. Despite being emotionally charged, his voice struck a chord with the audience, highlighting the value of faith, fortitude, and tenacity. But as the sermon went on, it became evident that something was wrong. Bishop Jake's motions became uneven, and those closest to the pulpit saw that he was having trouble breathing and speaking clearly. He made an effort to go on with the message in spite of his obvious discomfort. Everyone could see how dedicated he was to his ministry despite his personal struggles. However, it soon became evident that he could not go on. While ushers and security maintained order in the sanctuary, the church's medical team and ministry professionals moved quickly to his help. Many members of the congregation started praying out loud for healing and divine intervention as Bishop Jakes was helped by his staff. As people from all around the globe voiced their concerns, the issue gained international attention, and social media was inundated with words of support and prayers for the beloved pastor's speedy recovery. Even for someone as apparently unstoppable as Bishop Jakes, the episode provided as a sobering reminder of the toll that service may take. Many people considered the significance of his role as a spiritual leader, whose impact extends far beyond the boundaries of the Potter's house after his health concern. Bishop Jakes is regarded as one of the most revered individuals in the Christian world because of his decades-long ministry, which has changed the lives of many people via his leadership, books, films, and sermons. His congregation, as well as others impacted by his teachings worldwide, showered him with love and support after his unexpected health crisis. With their combined prayers filling the air, people across the globe waited anxiously for developments while specifics about his status remained unknown. The assembly held faithful to their faith in spite of the interruption of the service. Many Christians clung to faith when news got out, believing that their pastor would come out stronger than before. Bishop Jakes calmed his congregation with a poignant message amidst the uncertainty, displaying his customary humility and commitment to his vocation. Struck a chord with the audience, who cheered and applauded. His remarks demonstrated the close relationship he has developed with his followers through years of encouraging and mentoring them on their spiritual paths. Bishop Jakes took the microphone and started talking again, but in a more sensitive tone. He expressed his profound affection for the people he serves by saying, "I miss you," he proceeded by drawing a comparison between visiting patients in a hospital and the transformational effect of preaching. "You're receiving more than you gave, even if you believe you're giving something away." As the bishop's remarks emphasized the close bond between pastor and people, his voice was full with a strong feeling of connection. But as the events transpired, an increasing feeling of unease emerged. Bishop Jakes' microphone-wielding hand started to shake a little indication of unease. He tried to hide the vibrations, but some members of the congregation could see them. He was clearly vulnerable at that point, and the audience reacted not just with cheers but also with a greater understanding of their spiritual leader's tenacity and commitment. Bishop Jakes, a man who has dedicated his life to helping others, was experiencing a moment of human weakness that made everyone realize how much responsibility and pressure he bears. Bishop Jakes' tone changed to one that was more prayerful as the service went on. He prayed, "Now, Lord, let my words and my heart's meditation be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer." Even though he spoke with humility and respect, his comments were cut short by yet another obvious trembling in his body. He was using a handkerchief, but it dropped out of his fingers and onto the ground, warning everyone that something more serious could be going on. The personnel at the church acted swiftly to make sure the pastor had the care he needed. The attitude changed from one of worship to one of anxiety when the sound system was utilized to request space from the assembly. As the room was filled with whispers of prayer and requests for divine healing,